Ecotourism is enjoying nature in its pristine state and getting the best of it, like bird watching, butterfly watching. These are some of the things that people should keep in mind when talking about ecotourism. It's not going to have a party on the rock and then so to hike in Jos, I usually recommend if it's a multi-day hike, Shere Peak is a good one. 2 days to get to the peak and 1 day to enjoy the sights, and then another 2 days coming down. You bring your tents, your sleeping mat, your sleeping bag, and if you don't have ration to bring along, we can always pick up ration in the locality. And
with ration, you mean food?
Food, yes.
Okay.
One of the things I recommend a lot here is Gari and Kuli Kuli.
Okay.
It's a very good, sustainable ration and easy to carry.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Wo bin ich zu Hause, meine Heimat für Fremde. Simply put, where do I call home? My home country for foreigners. Ecotourism in Nigeria. Hiking Shere Hills with Babajide. On December 20th, 2019, I met up with Babajide in Jos, which is the capital of Plateau State in Nigeria in the Middle Belt. Babajide is a veterinary doctor and does a lot for conservation and hiking in Nigeria. I was so happy to be able to explore different spots of Jos with him. On this episode, I'll take you through my experience and what conservation and ecotourism means to Babajide in Nigeria.
The tree or what? So good morning guys, we have an early start today and we are on the road with the legend Babajide. I'm going to introduce you to him later. I'm actually wearing his jacket because it's really cold in Jos. Like I said, the temperature drops to 12 degrees sometime, but this beautiful blue body of water you're seeing is one of the major dams that supplies water to the city of Jos, and we were passing through it and we're right around the Shere hillside, and I said, let's stop and get a picture of this for you. But isn't this like beautiful? Like just so blue, so calm. And I've heard that for bird watching, if you come here early enough in the morning, you see the birds land on this body of water and take off. And in the winter time, it's a perfect time to watch some of the winter birds do the activities here. So if you are touring the Shere Hills, this might be a place you want to stop and do some bird watching early in the morning. So, good afternoon, Babajide.
Afternoon, and how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Hope you've enjoyed your hike thus far.
Yes, I have. So, I found you because I was looking for something on pangolins, and you might have posted something on conservation. That's how I found your site and your NGO, and then I started looking at your pictures. So can you please tell our viewers who you are and what conservation means to you?
I'm Babajide Agboola, a conservation ecologist and a veterinary doctor. Conservation to me is life, is the way of living. It's the sustainable utilization of natural resources, which everybody has to imbibe to get out of this present situation we're in the world. Because we are using resources so fast that we're not giving them time to regenerate. That's why we're having the extinction crisis we are having in some of biodiversity. So with pangolin, I did a couple of walks on pangolin in southwest Nigeria. I helped set up Pangolin Conservation Working Group Nigeria and then create awareness about the conservation status of pangolin.
Fishes eat them, I suppose.
No, those bugs. And you hardly find fishes there.
Okay.
So you have this mud turtle.
In here?
Yeah.
Oh. So if I was thinking about a multiple day hike, what would somebody bring with them to do a multiple day hike with you, and what duration does it involve?
First of all, it depends on the fitness level of the individual. You have people who are hardcore hikers. Their fitness level is quite high. So the Shere Peak will be a good place. It's a 2 days hike, and you bring along your tents, sleeping mats. What I found out is hardcore hikers usually go about with their kids because they don't like sharing what they have, and it's a good way of maintaining the stuff they have. And other hiking areas, Gashaka, they are now opening up to hikers and campers. And with what is happening with some of the states, they're trying to put together camping and hiking sites, camping sites for hikers and campers. Bauchi State is doing that. Plateau State, there's a hiking trail now from Pangshing area to Buturagida, which will be an annual event for the Butura Kingdom. Their ancestral trail has been mapped out, so it will be a hiking route. That is about 4 days hike.
How many kilometers?
It's about 95, 96 kilometers.
Okay.
So, very interesting one because it's going to be part of the Nahwai Festival.
What's the Nahwai Festival about?
The Nahwai Festival is the Butura Nation's annual festival where they celebrate the coming to maturity of their youths,
Okay.
young men. So, and then it has a traditional dancing competition, and the South Butura is championing it to get into the tourism calendar of the country.
Okay.
Tu das Adama Tatul Dove. No. Black bill wood dove. They're similar, but the end of the song is what distinguishes as the black bill wood dove.
Okay. It's orange now. Or it looks like orange.
Looks like it isn't.
No.
The strength of Nigeria in the area of tourism is ecotourism. And we've still left it in the rudimentary stage. Effort has to be made by governments and individuals to promote ecotourism. And that has to be done by building capacity in the area, training eco-tour guides, designating areas as protected, and creating hiking trails, camping sites, and improving the security situation. Basic. And then access to some of these sites that we talk about as being tourism sites.
A lot of people ask about Nigeria. Whereabouts in Nigeria originally are you from? What language is spoken there, and how many languages do you speak?
I'm from southwest Nigeria, Ekiti State, Kere Ekiti to be specific. And I came into Jos about 22 years ago and fell in love with what is here. I speak the Yoruba language fluently and the English language. Other languages, the salutations, what I just pick up. The Igbo language, Kekwanu, the Hausa language, I get around. And there are some indigenous languages in the north, like the Fufude, Aku, Sori Magajia. These are just basic salutations that if you are hiking, you have to get used to so that you can break the ice in getting information out of people. And in Jos here, the Afi is Zere language. So Kalau, so Changa, these are basically salutations.
Okay, so I have seen a trend in hiking in Nigeria, but based on my observation, it's a lot of mass activities. What is your opinion about that, and what would be your suggestion to make that more standardized?
Government should come into the issue of ecotourism in the area of management, not taking people on hikes. No. With government having an understanding of what ecotourism is about, they can put in place robust measures to regulate it. Take, for example, if you have like 200 tourists running up the side of a hill, they destroy it because they don't take into cognizance the biodiversity of the place. But if government comes into such a place, a trail is established, so hikers know that they have to keep to the trail. This protects the biodiversity of the area.
Oh, that's what you're carrying. First aid box. In case of anything. Not bad. What was that? Ah! Was it big? What is the calyx?
This.
Ah, that's
Pound it. And
okay.
it's like a drossel.
Ah, okay. That is edible. Okay. So wild okra. Well, to be honest, I think we have a very good habit of planting trees in residential areas.
Yes, the wrong trees.
Why?
They are foreign trees.
Mango?
No, that's not. We plant masquerade trees. Camerunica.
Oh, me, I'm talking about the mangoes and the edible ones. Yeah.
Everybody wants to put concrete. Slap the whole place. Put interlocking tiles.
Oh, nice. Got a view of that. Okay, guys. This is one elevation or point where you can stop and view the part you've gone past behind you. So this is a part of Shere Hills. I know that the one we know most are the pictures with the rock formation, but we are actually doing a proper, I would call it a mini hike, because we didn't start from the beginning of the partway, and it has more to do with our time than the possibility of starting the hike at the beginning of the route. But so far so good. It is more exposed than covered, so you would need a hat and some sunscreen if you don't want to get burned. And it's about, I think it's about 9 in the morning right now, so the sun is not really up where it would be killing you. So good advice, start early, so when you're up it's not as hot and you would not be exposed under the sun when you get to the peak where you're headed. So let's continue, and that's the way we're going. It's really hard to see from here, but we'll show you when we get up. Okay. Now wood.
Now, how do you look at this place? This place was created
Okay.
as a lookout point. They pushed this rock now.
I wonder how heavy this thing is. It's not too heavy. Okay. Ah, when it's not dry, it's heavier, huh?
If you have this place declared a protected area and people are making income from guest lodges, huts, where the guest will stay before he comes on a hike. There are kids serving as eco tour guides, porters, and conservationists collecting data on the environment. Maybe one of them is doing his PhD and is using his whole backyard as his research site. That's plus for him. So all that will improve livelihood. But you don't have to take it to urban setup.
No.
So they will still have their daily hustles. So there are other things to collect in here. If you leave the trees, shea butter will grow. So you can collect the seeds. A lot of the trees they are cutting are shea plants. The butter is of more value than the wood. But because the wood is important to cook now, they take down the tree, they won't wait for it to fruit to collect the seeds, the fruit. So the money they'll make from shea, the exercise they do from collecting the shea nuts, still gives them a lot of things to do.
True. What is that? I smelled something. Not like mint. Wait. I smelled something. Not mint, but also not eucalyptus. Something was a plant.
Lantana.
Plantana? Which one is it? Let me see. Yes. This is it. Oh, it's good.
Lantana.
Do you eat it?
It's used to stop people who smoke.
Oh, wow.
And they lick it.
Yeah, because it has a menthol. That's what I was saying. Something like menthol. Wow, okay.
Take it after a while. If you take a puff of cigarette, you will throw up.
Let's try Sabo's way. Huh. It's a bit like on my toe. Okay, wait.
Let me hold it down.
Yeah, I think that's better. Thank you. Got it. Yay! Oh yeah, this is it. I love it. This is good. So guys, we are at one of the peaks in Shere Hills. We are at approximately 1,496 meters high up. It took us 1 hour, 16 minutes to get here. And even though the sun is shining, it's 29 degrees and it's not scorching hot. That means I can sit out here without my heart and the wind is coming in and I feel comfortable just sitting here and enjoying nature. So where we are right now, it has a history to it. So all the settlement that we saw briefly the old settlers used to actually live back there some 500 years back. But when the invaders started coming, they moved here, they receded to the high grounds. And what they did was to establish strategic points where they could view the invaders coming in. That's why you see you have a great viewpoint for the settlements there at the base. And the reason why they could tell the invaders were coming were most of the invaders were on horseback. And when they were riding towards here, they would see the dust kind of announcing that invaders were coming. Otherwise, this place is rich in bird life and you can really enjoy hearing a lot of that nature. What I'm about to show you also behind us is the second highest peak of the Shere Mountains right there in the back. And even though it looks like a stone throw away from us, it's actually an hour, 30 minutes to get there because there is a deep valley between those two peaks you're seeing there. And the peak behind is the one that is the second highest peak of the Shere Hills. So do enjoy your time here. You can actually come up and have a little picnic if you come up early. But one thing to remember is if you come up with plastic stuff, please take it with you. Don't leave it. Respect the environment when you're here. And let's all have a good time in Jos Plateau. If you were to suggest to someone to come to Nigeria based on the knowledge of where you've been to and the trails and nature you've seen, where would be the top spot? Let's talk about 3 top spots you would suggest to people to go to.
Shere Hills is one.
Okay.
Yankari is another. And then you look at the Cattle Ranch. That's another good area to go to. The Mambila Plateau.
Okay.
Beautiful sites. Starting from Gashaka-Gumti National Park up into the plateau. The site there is wonderful and beautiful indeed.
Okay, perfect. So I would like to end on that note. Thank you very much for this brief interview. And just in case you were wondering, Babajide is based in Jos and does several multiple day hikes around the area. He has even done a hike from Ibadan to Ekiti, which was how many days? 5 days. So if you are a multiple day hiker and you want to get in touch with the biodiversity in Nigeria and experience an untouched ecotourism areas that we have, because it is not in the peak or booming period yet. So a lot of things you'll be seeing, you'll be one of the first few peoples to experience it. Then you would want to contact Babajide because he knows his way around and he does know the wildlife. So it's not just walking around and not knowing what bird it is or what animals just passed here. It's really about getting the feel of the nature of where you are. And right now we are looking at one of the viewpoints from Shere Hills where you actually have a rock formation behind us, and we're going to head back down on our way to Riyom Rock and Jos Wildlife Park. And those are 2 other things you can do if you are here in Jos Plateau and you're looking for what to do. Those are things you can do around this area. So let's proceed and go down to our starting point.
I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Yours truly, Liesel81.
With you because it's very helpful. Are you making the video?